Hello, boys and girls. I am Miss Becky. Each week, I'll be here to share encouraging and uplifting stories with you, just the way Miss Kathy would have wanted us to. The strongest man in the world. Years went by, and many people in Israel forgot God. They began to worship the idols and false gods of the Canaanites. So God let the Philistines rule over them. A man named Manoah and his wife were still following God. One day, an angel appeared to Manoah's wife. "You're going to have a baby soon. He will be special. Don't cut his hair because he will be a Nazarite, someone who's born to do a special work for God. He will begin to free my people from the Philistines." When the baby was born, they named him Samson. He grew up to be very strong, but he didn't always follow God. He made friends with many of the Philistines and joined them in many of their evil ways. Then he decided to marry a Philistine woman. A few days before the wedding, a lion attacked Samson. He killed it with just his bare hands. At the wedding, Samson made a bet with some of the guests. When they cheated to win, he got so mad that he killed 30 men and paid off his bet with their clothes. Then Samson left without marrying the Philistine woman. A few months later, Samson found out the woman had married someone else. He got so mad at the Philistines that he caught 300 foxes. He took 2 at a time and tied their tails to a torch. Then he lit the torches and turned the foxes loose in the grain fields of the Philistines. Soon there was fire everywhere, and the Philistines lost all their crops. Then Samson attacked more of the Philistines. He killed some with rocks, then hid in a cave. When they tried to capture him, he picked up the jawbone from a donkey skeleton and killed 1,000 more Philistine men. Now the Philistines were really mad at Samson. One night they heard that he was visiting a woman in Gaza, a small city with high walls and a strong gate. After Samson went in, they locked the gate to trap him inside. But before they attacked, Samson was ready to leave. He walked up to the gates, pulled them right off their hinges, and carried them away with him. Years later, Samson fell in love with a Philistine woman named Delilah. The Philistine rulers talked to her. "Find out what makes Samson so strong, and we'll pay you a lot of money." So the next time Samson visited, Delilah asked, "Samson, what makes you so strong? How could I tie you up so that you couldn't escape?" Samson laughed. "I would have to be tied up with new bowstrings. Then I'd be as weak as any man." So the next time Samson fell asleep at her house, Delilah tied his hands with bowstrings. Then she shouted, "Wake up! You're being trapped by your enemies." Samson jumped up and snapped the strings. "You tricked me," Delilah said. "Now tell me what really makes you strong." Samson didn't want to tell her, but she whined and begged for so long that he told her another lie. "If I'm tied up with brand new ropes, I'll be as weak as any man." When he fell asleep, Delilah did it again. She tied his arms with new ropes. When she shouted again, Samson jumped up and snapped the ropes. "Stop tricking me," Delilah said. "Tell me what really makes you strong." She whined and begged for so long that Samson couldn't stand it anymore. "Fine," he shouted. "I'll tell you. I'm a Nazarite, specially dedicated to God. If my hair was cut, I'd be as weak as any man." Of course, this was true. When Samson went to sleep, Delilah had his hair cut. The Philistine soldiers captured him without any trouble. They blinded him, put him in a prison, and made him grind grain all day long. Now Samson had time to think about God and God's plan for his life. And while he worked and thought, his hair was growing back. The Philistines planned a big party to celebrate their victory over the Israelites. 3,000 of the Philistine soldiers and rulers gathered in the temple of their god, Dagon. "Let's bring Samson to our party," someone shouted. "He'll give us something to laugh at while we celebrate." So Samson was brought out of the prison and led to the temple. Everyone laughed and shouted at their old enemy as they made him stand in the center of them all, between the 2 main pillars that held up the ceiling of the temple. "Let me rest against the pillars," Samson asked the servant who was leading him. Then he prayed silently, "Lord, remember what you wanted for my life. Let me be strong just one more time." Then Samson put one hand on each of the big pillars. "I'll be happy to die with these Philistines," he shouted. Then he pushed as hard as he could until both pillars fell over. The roof came crashing down, and all the Philistines inside were killed, along with Samson. Samson killed more Philistines when he died than when he was alive. With all those Philistine leaders gone, the Israelites could begin to free themselves from the Philistines. Samson finally did what God promised he would, but his life could have been much happier if he had chosen better friends who helped him follow God. The story you have heard today is from the Shoebox Kids Bible Stories, written by Jerry D. Thomas and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.